Why not 100 more?
He said, Francis, what are you doing finally? I'm going to do computer science. He said, oh, that's very smart. Why? Well, because you won't have to speak English. So, thank you, Fred. I'm so glad to have Everett, please come here and then tell us your story.
Thank you, Francis. So now I'm supposed to give you a 2 to 3 minute speech, and by the end of the speech, you're supposed to know, exactly who I am. Pretty easy, right? Well, I got a list of inspirational questions, and one of the ones that I found most interesting was, what's your favorite class in school? Which seems like a simple question, but for me, it's kind of difficult because I really love all of my classes. And because there are two aspects of a class, really. There's what you're studying, and then there's who's teaching it. And I always love studying because I just love learning and thinking about things in new ways. And then there's the teacher, and sometimes I have good teachers, and sometimes I have less good teachers. And of course, I love having good teachers. But when the instructor isn't so great, I also like it because then my classmates turn to me, because I usually am able to understand the information before they do, and then I help them understand it. So I love teaching. More than any area of study, I just love teaching. And it's especially magical when I'm helping the person go from not knowing to knowing. And when it happens in an instant, when they transfer from not knowing to knowing in an instant, they get this look in their eyes. It's just magical. And though I don't have any favorite subjects to study, I do have favorite subjects to teach. I just like teaching science for some reason. So I might end up teaching science. But recently I've also started thinking of teaching English as a foreign language, because there are a bunch of foreign exchange students in Maharishi School, and so I was helping one of them with one of her essays. And she would use almost the right word, but not quite the right word. And so I would tell her, you don't mean this one, you mean this word. And I wouldn't just tell her what she got wrong, I would tell her why you would use that word. And I just really like thinking about the language and trying to communicate this thing that I, of course, have known since I was 2. Just thinking about it and trying to articulate that to someone who doesn't know it, who doesn't really grok it. So that's essentially who I am. I also, besides teaching, I like to act especially, which will be useful, because basically teaching is just improvisational acting for several hours a day in front of one of the toughest audience, I think. And that's about it. Thank you.
I know in that whole college board process you did over the top, and you received, I think, some feedback on that, correct?
Yes, I am a National Merit Scholar finalist, or semi-finalist. I wrote an essay, and now they're figuring out the finalists, and then from the finalists, there are actual National Merit Scholars. There are a bunch of different levels, but I'm at least a semi-finalist.
Great.
Hey, Doug, you're doing great.
We used to have frames for these. Congratulations.